Hello friends and welcome to bspsolutions.com. My name is Amit and today I am going to show you how to add new cache elements in your account dimension in Oracle FCCS. This is hands-on session, therefore I am going to show you live. So step 1, you log into your cloud instance and where your account should be added. I'll show you the hierarchy first. You can go to navigator dimension. In case you need to add one or two member, you can add member from dimension simplified editor. However, in case you need to load multiple member, you want to schedule this activity, you can create a job for the same. Anyways, your cache element will appear under balance sheet, traditional balance sheet approach, your total asset, current assets, and cache equivalent. I wanted to add new types of cache over here. So I've got three kind of cache: petty cache, payroll cache, and escrow cache. So this requirement I received from my ERP system into flat file, and we are going to see how to load it. Subsequently, we can schedule this activity as well. So step first, you need to create a metadata file. If you know the template of metadata file, you can append your member. There's another easy way you can use it. You can go to application and export metadata, and this way you receive the metadata dimension template and you can append or modify the existing member. Go to dimension, select your dimension which you want to export. I am going to export over here account dimension. Click on export. It will be exported into your local system. Click on create. It is going to be a zip file format. You can export account dimension to your local system. In addition to this, you can also save this in an outbox. So inbox or outbox, there are two folders. Therefore the file would remain in your cloud instance. I'm going to export to my local system. You have two options in turn. You can use comma delimiter or tab delimiter. In this example, I use tab delimiter. Export. The file saves into your local system. It's a zip file format. So open this folder and I'm going to put this folder into my local file system. I'll export this, unzip this, and this is my file. Preferably you should open this file into Excel. It is easy to read in Excel. And we need to add three members under cache and cache equivalent, as I shown you under current assets. So to make it more readable, you can convert this Excel file into using certain delimiter. In this example, tab is a delimiter. There's an option called data to column, text to column. You can use this option and define a delimiter over here. So default delimiter is tab, and this is how your file look like. So it's a parent-child relationship. We have parent and we have child, and then we have alias and other properties, data storage properties, consolidation property, to pass, formula, UDA, smartest, and all the properties are there. In our example, we want to add new cache element under this, and therefore I'm going to remove it and keep only cache and cache equivalent, and I'm going to add new member over here under cache and cache equivalent. So I'll delete all the other elements and continue focus into that. So I'm going to name it as 21101, 21102. In this example, for the sake of learning, I'm adding couple of members from here. However, it will appear this information will come from this data file would come from business. Okay, so we have a default alias. You can define a default alias. So this is going to be escrow cache, this is petty cache, and the third one is going to be payroll cache. And the same fashion, you can continue to define other properties, consolidation property, to pass calculation, and so on. What I did, I already prepared one metadata file, and I'll be using this metadata file in this example. This is my metadata file. This metadata file I'm going to load into my system. Make sure if you're using an account dimension, the assets, these are new assets. The data storage properties defined as currency, data type property defined as currency, and time balance property should be flow type. Account type should be assets. Okay. So once you have metadata file ready, what you can do, you can load into your system. You can create a job and schedule this activity as well. So alternatively, I'm going to load this metadata. We have option over here called inbox and outbox explorer. I can upload this file over my server and then in turn I can use it. So there's an option called upload. Point to this file. It's in my local folder. Point to this file, new cache elements, upload this. It is similar to FTP. The file got imported successfully and you can see the timestamp over here. Now I import this file into my outline. So you can go to import export dimension. Last time I exported, this time I'm going to import it back. Click on the dimension, click on import. Click on create. There's an option called you can import from your local system or inbox. I would do it from inbox and mention your file name. It's a tab delimiter and mention your file name. It's a new cache element with extension and save as a job. Because it's a job, it means you can run it on demand and you can schedule it. I would name it as job, new cache flow element, just append job and save it. You can also define database refresh should take place post import. I would do it explicitly later. So this is done. Now you're going to invoke this job from your job console. So we have jobs option over here. Click on job and schedule job, what activity it is. This is metadata import. So select this option from all the list, import metadata. You can do it now, you can schedule it later. For the sake of testing, I'm doing it now. Go next. This is your job file, job new cache flow element. Click on this, click on next. If metadata is correct, the job will take place. The job started, it will take few seconds to complete this activity. I continue to refresh this and you see the job got completed. As a result of this, you can modify you can check your dimension structure, go to dimension, and there you can see you got new cache flow elements. And limit yourself to console, account dimension, balance sheet, traditional balance sheet approach, total asset, current assets, cash and cash equivalent. So these members are added, right? So I added escrow cash, payroll cash, and petty cash, right? After you modify, every time you do a structure change to your application, make sure you refresh your database. Okay, and this is apply across FCCS and PBCS and EPBCS. I click on application, go to overview, and I'm going to refresh my database. Once you refresh your database, you should be able to see these members and your data form and data grid. You can see it now, but it's good to refresh it. Click on refresh. So in case all this information will write back to your space queue. Refresh database and it'll take few seconds. We'll wait for this activity to complete. Once this is done, I'm going to show you the new cash flow element will be appearing into your application. Let's wait for this to be completed.
This conference will now be recorded.
All right, so my cube got refreshed. Let's look at the job status. It took little time, therefore I took a pause and go to application. job, and there you can see the status of your cube refresh and all the dependent processes. So you see your cube get refreshed, database refresh, right? It took little time, and once it got refreshed, we can check the newly added cache elements in your data form. So you can go to home page, open data form, and all these members will appear in your balance sheet. Let's see this now. However, we do not have data as of now. Click on data, select your folder. This is balance sheet elements. So I'll see this output in a balance sheet by entity, and you can see all these member over here. So these are all my cache elements. I think I add these are my cache element: escrow cache, payroll cache, petty cache. Right, these three cache elements we added. As I ran this on demand, you could have scheduled this activity if you want this to be done recurring. In addition to standard execution, one can also schedule this activity, and you can write EPM automate activity to invoke the same task from your backend. So that's it for today's session. Should you have any question, please reach out to us to www.bispsolutions.com. Thank you.